Hello and welcome to the show. I'm here on Forza Horizon 2 with another rally car build, and my vehicle today is the Shelby Cobra. I'm looking for something to beat the TVR, and I have a sneaking suspicion this might just do it, because if you want very good power to weight ratio, you can't really go wrong with one of these. About 425 horsepower standard and weighs around 2,300 pounds. That's some big power to weight ratio to begin with, let alone after you've modified it up to S1 class. Now, this car is pre-built. My laptop was a bit of a pain and crashed halfway through recording, so the car is actually built, but I will show you what I have done to the vehicle. Now, the big concern, of course, with the Cobra is the handling. You can get a lot of power and not very much weight, but the handling is what could potentially let the vehicle down. Now, with this series, the cars have all got to be four-wheel drive, so that is a bonus with this car. Having it as four-wheel drive should make putting the power down and using the power a hell of a lot easier. The other requirements that it must have the Storm Island Rally tyres. It does have them, honestly. I can show you here. See, off-road tyres. Even though it doesn't look like they've got tread on them, they are the off-road tyres on this car. It must have the rally gearbox, and that certainly helps things. In all honesty, with this, it gives the car some nice short gear ratios. There you go, 0 to 60, 2.5 seconds in the in the Cobra. Yeah, pretty damn quick, accelerating, and it has the off-road suspension. Although I'm going to be honest, it's still not exactly got a huge amount of ground clearance. That's its standard. It's not a huge amount. It's better than that, but it's not a huge amount. To be fair, even that, the wheels are rubbing on. It looks like yeah, it looks like you'd mess your tyres up almost there. But yeah, off-road suspension should hopefully help it with the bumps. Now, the other thing that's going to help with the handling, of course, we've got the racing brakes on the car, very, very important. Always going to have them. Got all the other handling parts I can get on it. Basically, we've got race anti-roll bars. We've got the full-on roll cage, try and stiffen up the chassis a bit, and the weight reduction. So the car, 2,400 pounds. You may be wondering, well, the standard car is lighter than it is. Yes, it is lighter. It is lighter than this. However, I've done some various things to the engine, and they've made the car, ended up making up the car heavier. Tyre-wise, this is why I think the Cobra could do quite well on the handling front. 345s on the rear. They are big tyres. They're some of the bigger tyres you can get on any car, let alone on these rally car builds. On the fronts, I think we've got 265s on the fronts. Some of the cars I've had have had smaller tyres on the rear, or that size tyre on the rear of them. This has got huge tyres and four-wheel drive. 520 horsepower, 600 torques going through this. That should be enough to make this car handle well, certainly. As far as power goes and engine goes, we've got the standard engine in the car. I didn't want to swap that out. However, we have got a supercharger, and this is why the weight is up, shall we say. Even though we've got race weight reduction, I have a supercharger on the car. If I took that off, I could make it 200 pounds lighter, but I would have much less power. So I've decided to go, seeing as this car is already going to be very light, I've decided to go for the power and the torque of getting a supercharger on it rather than keeping it lighter. It also may help, if the car gets too light, it may get a bit twitchy and difficult to drive. So I'm thinking 2,400 pounds with this much power and torque is good. That's a good weight and a very large amount of power. Probably one of the most torquey cars we've had. Certainly for this weight of car, by far the most torquey one we will have had. Other engine parts, there are various bits and pieces down here. Didn't want that. Didn't want flywheel. The other reason why the weight is a little bit up is I have the intercooler on it, and this adds a fair chunk of weight as well with it. But it adds a fair chunk of power as well that you can't get 20 more horsepower and keep it in S1 class without adding the weight on. And I decided that this was probably the best way to go. There were the choices. Also for the handling, as you can see, it's got front and rear aero on it. Again, just to try and get the maximum I can, maximum drivability, if you like, out of this car. As I said, that's the concern with the Cobra, that it may be difficult to drive. If this is good to drive, if it is easy to drive, then I expect this to go at the top of the table. Maybe not beat the TVR, but I should certainly think this will go into the top 3, because the power to weight ratio is huge on this car. I think the drivability shouldn't be too bad because of the tyre size and four-wheel drive. I mean, these are big tyres on the car. Admittedly, we are on dirt, but still, it's got some huge tyres and four-wheel drive. Anyway, we will go to our test track, the Forest Brawl circuit, where I have got 5 laps to set as fast a lap time as possible. Our current leader, the TVR Sagaris, has a time of 1 minute .178 that I'm now going to try and beat with the Cobra. Second place, the MX-5 is a 1 minute .299, and third is an Impreza, a 1 minute .466. They are the top three, and that is where I think this Cobra could go. I really think the Cobra could get up into the top three. Here we go, Shelby. Let's see if you can impress me. How do we handle turn one? Brakes. Brakes are good. Turn one. Okay. I thought it turned in and it felt like it started to slide, and then there's a lot of grip. The Cobra has an incredible amount of grip. How have you got this much grip? Okay, this is better than I expected. Oh, okay, there's understeer. There is more understeer than oversteer in a Cobra. What's going on here? Can we be flat out? Yes, that's almost 100 miles an hour through there. Bloody hell, that is quick. The Cobra is absolutely flying. Okay, this is a better car than I could have ever expected from it. Slow it down for that. That was a slightly shonky line, but this is an incredible car. Well, I know how you have so much grip. Tyres are huge and you're four-wheel drive. But all the other cars have been four-wheel drive, but nothing's quite had this same level of grip. How do you do straight line speed-wise? I mean, this should be quick in a straight line, I would expect. 135, 140 miles an hour, about as fast as we've got cars. Yeah, it's about that. I'm braking a little bit earlier for turn one because we're going so fast. There is a big bump just as you want to brake. I'd rather brake before the bump than try and slow it down after hitting the bump. So yeah, I mean 135 is about as good as everything else. Everything's really reaching around roughly the same speed. I am being an utter moron through that corner. How on earth are you holding onto the road? That's 100 miles an hour through that turn. The MX-5 couldn't take 100 miles an hour through that turn, and that's the MX-5, one of the best handling cars ever made, and that couldn't do the Cobra, a classic American sports car, is doing incredibly well, being neat through the final corner. Come on, Shelby, we are on for a blister. Jesus, the first lap was a 1 minute 3.3. The Cobra is very, very fast. Can we be the first car to get into the 59? We can! Holy crap! A 59.647 from the Cobra on the first flying lap. This car is remarkable. How are you so fast? Okay, I like the Cobra. This is going to be my S1 class off-road car of choice for everything. It's just... I'm being an utter moron with the throttle here, and it will not slide. We're on dirt with 600 torque. Yes, you are four-wheel drive, but everything else would at least slide a little bit. You don't even have the courtesy to slide a little bit. There is so much grip. And use the bump, slow it down, and try and take as much speed as I can through there. And then don't be a fool and overdo it in the final corner. I think I've ballsed that final turn up a small bit. Yeah, that's not quite as good a return. This car is ridiculous. Oh, we've got the jump a little bit, Squiffy. Oh, trees! Well, that lap wasn't there. That lap's not going to be as good. Yeah, okay, I took the takeoff on that a little bit wonky. The jumps aren't causing problems. That was my fault for angling the car. We're maybe a little shonky on the brakes for there. Never mind. I didn't quite know where to brake. We're at a completely different speed coming into that turn. But yeah, even the jumps aren't really causing a problem for the Cobra. I mean, I think it flies a little bit back down, maybe. Certainly across this one. It was a little bit... I'd like to... Well, to be fair, it's probably better. I mean, I would like to at least see... it's cracked 102 through that corner. I would perhaps like to see... Oh, we cracked the windscreen. See where I'm landing a little bit, but it is a bit safer almost to land back down, or the rear of the car down. Oh, that's going to upset the car across them bumps. That's an interesting line. Not sure that's quite where I want it to be. Oh, bushes out of the way. Oh, crap. I've completely... I'm going to miss the checkpoint doing that. Well, this lap here isn't going to be a particularly good one. We're going to have to go again on the final lap. I was just expecting to just not have the grip to do that. I didn't think I could just turn in. Oh, I'm going to take that jump wonky again. Okay, I'm having a little problem. With my aiming off of that ramp, but if I don't do that, we land the jumps. Okay, yeah, it flies slightly with the back down. There we go. Honestly, I can speak. I'm just excited. We've got a new fastest car, and I think I've balls this lap up as well. Yeah, I have. I'm now trying to push it even harder, knowing that I've got a quick lap in the bag. I mean, this is still probably going to clonk the wall on the inside again, trying to take all of the speed. This car is just ridiculously good. Again, a little bit rough landing. That wasn't the quickest through that turn. Through the air. It spends a lot of time in the air on this course just because it's so bloody fast. Down the bottom of the course, up the other side, dab on the brakes and turn in through there. That was a bit shonky. Through that, we clogged the wall as well. I mean, we're a bit better around that final turn. We're not quite got as wide. It's not going to matter. It's not going to be a quicker lap. It's still going to be a bloody fast lap on this final one. But the Cobra is the first car to get under the 1 minute lap time and to do it pretty damn convincingly as well. 59.647 goes half a second quicker than the TVR Sagaris, and my god, is this an easy car to drive. I slightly ballsed up on the final 2 laps trying to find some more speed from it somewhere, and yeah, clonked a couple of walls here and there. But if you're not driving it like a complete and utter tard, this is such an easy car to drive quickly. There is so much grip in this. It's unbelievable how much cornering grip there is in the Cobra. You can be flat out in places that no other car can, and you can carry such huge amounts of speed through the turns that this is most definitely, as unlikely as it is, Shelby Cobra is most definitely my rally car of choice at the moment. Probably the easiest car I've had to drive, and it's also the fastest. What more could you want? It looks fantastic, it sounds fantastic. It is the perfect rally car, I think. But there we go. Shelby Cobra goes to the top of the table, and this is going to be a monumental task to go faster than. I'm not sure if many cars will be able to even get near the Shelby Cobra, let alone go faster than it, because that is a seriously fast lap time. Well, that is it for this video, guys. So thank you very much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.